Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a first impressions video for you on a Lionsteel. This is one that is fairly new. This is the Lionsteel Myto. I don't know if, I guess it's not on the back. It does just say black canvas micarta. You can see a little rip there in the box. Now, I wanted to actually unbox this because it's kind of interesting. So you open this up, you can see the lion. The presentation is actually rather good. This box then folds again, and you can see the knife actually goes with it. It's being held here by this clip, by the clip going through this cardboard. You can either pull the cardboard out, which is what we'll do now to reveal the other side of the knife. This is all that's on the cardboard. Push this guy through. And so there's the knife. Before we get to that, I'll just point out it does come with a couple of tools, and I'll show you what these tools do as we work our way through the knife itself. And then we've got this little package as well. So let's move the box out of the way, bring the knife back in. So there's a look at the Lionsteel Myto in black canvas micarta. There's a little tool it ships with, and in the little package here, we have a screw. I'm going to assume that's a filler screw for a feature that we'll show you in a second, and a flat, there you go, you can see a flat sort of bolt that can replace the carbide glass breaker that's on there. Okay, so let's do a quick rundown on the features here. I'll give you a quick overview. Then we'll finish off with size and weight and my sort of initial response to this knife. So starting up here at the front, we have a very nice satin grind on this M390 Blade, fairly thick blade stock, but 158 thousandths, so significantly more than 1/8 of an inch. As we move down here, it's a flat grind. You can see they've done a decent job on the plunge grind there. Now the flipper tab is the first thing that I'll point out. You can see there's a screw in the end of the flipper tab, so this can be totally removed, making this knife a two-hand opening knife. So there's no need to remove it. I will probably roll in some footage of just taking it off so that you can see it in the full review, but this is just a first impression. So if you didn't have the tab on there, you would have to two-hand open this knife. And some countries have that requirement, which is, anyway, it's insane. But I'll try not to get into that too much. Let me just say this. Any knife that opens it with any mechanism, whether it's an OTF, whether it's a side opening automatic or an out the front automatic, whether it's assisted or non-assisted, flipper tab, thumb stud, doesn't matter. Any knife that has to be that you have to work some mechanism to open it is slower than a fixed blade, and fixed blades are legal everywhere because it's a standard tool that we all need. So outlining any particular kind of knife or action on a knife is foolish, because the person who is going to use a knife for nefarious means can just grab a fixed blade out of their kitchen, which is in fact what most criminals do anyway. So anyway, knife flaws are a pain in the neck. Let's get back to the knife we care about right now. So M390 Blade, flat grind, crown spine, very nice. This is a Moletta design. See that there? You can kind of tell by looking at it. It looks very much like other Moletta designs. There's a few of them out there. And, you know, he does a lot of stuff for Lionsteel. We have black canvas micarta on the show side. Oh, I should have said bearing pivot, Torx bit, black canvas micarta, titanium frame lock, of course. So titanium on the lock side. Really cool floating backspacer here. I do kind of like that feature. Carbide glass breaker that does have a movable clip. So you could flip this side, just take this off, switch it to the other side. I probably will switch this out for the flat. All right, and by the way, the tool here that comes with it has the right size Torx bit. Looks like about an 8. If I can, well, maybe that's too big. Nope, it's definitely the right size. Anyway, it's got Torx bits for the screws. I just can't seem to work them on camera. I should know better than to try this stuff. And then you can also, the hole here will fit on this glass breaker, so you can take that off as well. All right, so that's all the features you need for the knife are included in this little tool. Kind of a nice touch, considering companies who have proprietary hardware often don't include a tool. It's nice to see the tool come along with this. As we're kind of looking over things here, I do want to point out right out of the box, the centering on this is atrocious. So take a look at that. Really, really poorly done. Now, I haven't messed with this at all, so I can't tell you whether or not I can fix it. I will play with it, and you'll have to watch the full review to see whether or not I can get that centering the way it should be. I will say for the price point on this knife, which is substantial, I think these are like $235 or something like that, that should never be. So that's definitely not cool. Moving on, are there any features that I've forgotten? Milled clip that's reversible. We already talked about that. Oh yeah, it is heavily milled internally. You can see milling on the micarta side as well as on the titanium side. And again, you can notice that floating backspacer. So now that we've kind of taken a look at all of those features, let me give you the size and weight and my initial thoughts. Size and weight here, we've got 7 3/4 inches overall. That's not including the carbide glass breaker. That puts it up closer, adds another 1/8 of an inch or so. 3 5/16 on the blade, so that's a little over 3 1/4. 4 7/16 is the closed measurement. Again, that's excluding the carbide glass breaker. 3.5 inches of grip area. Okay, so that's kind of in here where my fingers are going to go when I'm holding the knife. It is pretty comfortable, so I don't feel like I'm cramped at all, but if you had much bigger hands than me, possibly you would. And the weight on this is 3.44 ounces, which I feel like is not too bad. And the action is pretty good as well. So my initial thoughts, very cool EDC knife, kind of classy. I like Lionsteel's attention to detail in general. I like their blade grinds. There's a lot of things about Lionsteel that attracts me. And I haven't had a Lionsteel folder in a while. I think the last one I had was the Thrill, which was also really, really cool. And I think that's one of the things that appeals to me about Lionsteel is they tend to add a little extra cool factor to their knives by doing some little details that aren't earth-shattering. All right, a removable flipper tab, is that like a huge thing? Not really. And could you have just made the knife with either a flipper tab or non-flipper tab option? Yeah. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. And I guess, if you owned this and lived in 2 different countries or traveled a lot, you could remove the flipper tab sometimes and put it back on. I don't know if I mentioned, by the way, but you can see quite obviously right there is a stainless steel lock bar insert. Overall, I like the design. I like the features. I do wish the centering was better. That's kind of a fail. It's more than kind of. It's a pretty bad fail at this price point. You'll have to wait till the full review to see whether or not I can get that to back to where it should be. If you want to check one of these out, head over to White Mountain Knives. Use my discount code SHARPSTUFF. You'll save a little bit of money over there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will talk to you soon.